Good morning, everyone from Deadwood Reservoir. Just me this morning. Mrs. C is sitting it out. Figured y'all had enough hay bike rides. We're going to get our Kokopelli out and take a ride across the lake and see what we can see. There's a little bit of smoke in the air over here. It's just north of us. We had a small fire last night. I think they're still monitoring it. Actually, there were two. This one is the Howard fire. They pretty much got it under control. A little bit of smoke in the air. We had some helicopters flying around last night. It was pretty exciting. A little nerve-wracking, but anyway, like I said, it's just me. Let's go for a boat ride. Got my lanyard hooked up, hooking up my paddle, my life jacket. I've got my jacket off. I'm gonna stash it in my deck bag. It's a Kokopelli XPD. We've had them for several years. We really like them. Anyway, let me get. I'm gonna take this. Hopefully, we're gonna make it across there. That little island. Actually, it's not an island anymore. It's a peninsula. All right, I got my jacket on, and thought y'all would like to see my pretty face this morning. Anyway, I'm gonna get my paddle hooked up, my deck bag, and my phone put in my vest here. My vest here, and we'll get on the water. We'll get in the water. Only other chore I got before getting in the water, I got to put my skeg on. Don't know why. It's a raft. Skeg don't do a whole lot, but it does help a smidge. Hopefully there won't be a lot of fishing people out this morning. Wednesdays are pretty quiet here on the lake. So anyway, let's get this on and get out in the water. There's one right here. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There we go. There we go. Time for some water action. All right, we're finally in the water. Man, it is nice out here this morning. Anyway, I spared y'all watching me get in this thing because that's quite the comical event. We're going to paddle that way and see what we can see. It looks like there's already somebody over there. We're going to head up, try to go up into that little cove over there and see what we can see. I hear a plane. I don't think it's a spotter. Like I said, there's a little bit of smoke over here. Nothing serious. So we're just going to enjoy this little paddle this morning. Over here is Cozy Cove. That's one of our campgrounds. See someone dragging their kayaks out. Good kayaking water this morning. Over to the left, if I can get over there, Deadwood Dam. That's a BLM, or not BLM, a National Forest dispersed camping area right up there. It's really nice on the triple nickel, on 555 Forest Road, triple nickel, whatever you want to call it. I love these little boats. They're easy to transport, but they don't track worth a flip. Of course, it is a raft, so you really can't expect it to track too well. Like I said, we've been sitting here going around in a circle. It just kind of does that by itself, which may not be a bad thing. I don't know. But anyway, there's our Robinson Crusoe camp shelter thing that we set up when we got here. It used to be on the beach. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm going to try a selfie here. I don't have my... Anyway. We're at Deadwood Reservoir for the summer, and we are loving it. We'll be back next summer probably. Camp hosting, and it's a nice gig. Hey, there's a car up there. Anyway, we're loving it. Hope you guys are enjoying some of these videos. I know some of them are boring. I'm not a very exciting person, so anyway, enjoy. Let's get back. Hey, we're getting there. Oh, we're going the other direction now. Doing our little circle thing here. A little drifting circle. I don't think we're quite halfway. Well, maybe, I don't know. It's deceiving how far things are. We should have company soon. Bureau of Reclamation's coming out to do the salmon thing this year. There's the dam. Some folks fishing over there. I'll try not to disturb them. Some kayakers fixing to put in over here. Campground. We have Howers. There's Howers, Barney's, and then down at the very end is Riverside. There was a fire over at Howers Campground last night. Actually, I think it started the day before. I think a lightning strike caused it. They had helicopters. I might try to throw a clip in here from the helicopters. It was pretty cool. Those guys are freaking amazing, and we're very thankful for them. But there was also one, a smaller one closer by. It was called the Wilson Fire. It was just up the road from, up this way from Howers. They've got it 100% contained. It was small. They're still trying to determine the cause of it. Anyway, there's a gull on the water. We're headed for that island. Or it's not an island, it's a peninsula now. But we are about 65 miles from Cascade, 60 miles-ish from Stanley. If you can get down the Triple Nickel, the 555, we're only about 20 miles from Lowman. It is quite the ordeal to go anywhere from here. So we go for groceries about every 2 weeks. Oh, there's some smoke. I bet that's where the either the Wilson or Lowman fire is. That's awful close to us. A little bit nerve-wracking, but it is what it is. I've heard rumor there's a fire ring on this little peninsula, so we may go check it and see. I want to swing around here again and check out the smoke. This little cove we're headed for was full of water a couple of days ago, so I may run aground pretty quick, but that's okay too. This boat can get out of the marsh pretty easily. Kokopelli. If you look straight across, let's see, up in there somewhere. That's our runway. That's an airport. Believe it or not. Anyway, let's paddle on for it. And we're going to paddle up in here as far as we can. Till we hit bottom anyway. Then we might beach it and see what we see. See if we can find that little camping ring. There's a trail out here somewhere. It's on all trails, and they're actually advertised part of the reservoir. It goes all the way to Riverside, I think, and then all the way around down to Deadwood. It's a pretty nice beach over here. We're gonna paddle up into the cove if we don't get grounded here. Should be able to see the bottom pretty soon. Anyway, just a couple of weeks ago, this was all underwater. You couldn't walk this peninsula. I think we'll beach over here and walk down there and see what we can see. No, disregard. Someone's got a tent set up. We'll head on down this way. I didn't see that tent when I first paddled up. We'll head down here. All right. We've managed to get up here and beach ourselves. Let's do a little exploring now. My butt's wet. My boat don't drain. But it is what it is. But I was gonna park it up there, but there's someone camped up there, so it's not cool. Anyway, talk about some clear water. This place is beautiful. I think we're going to walk a little bit of this first. So I'll get some gravel out of my shoes. Yeah. So I've shed my paddling vest. Whoop, whoop. Just for now. I'll put it back on in a few minutes when I get back in the boat. But we're going to walk around here just a smidge. And then we'll probably get out in the water and paddle around it some too. I don't know if I want to. I think I'm going to try and go up there. Let me check see what time it is. We'll take a gander up here and see what this looks like. It's kind of interesting, huh? Like I said before, this is all, most of this was underwater. You can see the water lines where they receded. Day at a time. So this is kind of neat. Somebody's built a little, I'm not sure what. There's a fire ring. You probably camp over here. A little shelter of some sort. Cozy Cove. Campground is over there somewhere that we host. One of the campgrounds that we camp host. That's the fourth one. We're in the sun, so I think I'm going to hop in a Kokopelli and start paddling back. Probably shoot a few clips of boring spins on the way back. I keep meaning to mount or attach a camera mount to the boat, and I keep forgetting. So y'all are stuck with those exciting spin moves, clips. Sorry. Like I say, I always say we're not exciting people. But anyway, not sure what this cove is. If I had more time, I'd probably explore it more. I'm gonna try and get some of the gravel out of my shoe right now. That's the one thing about these bedrocks. If you are not a high stepper or a, I don't know what you call it, you can get a lot of sand and gravel in them. But I do love them. I don't know what this cove is called. I'm gonna walk up here just a hair more. I can't handle it. Gotta see. Okay, so we're gonna walk up here just a little bit more even. If I see something up here that's got my interest in another little cove in a cove. There's a water line. Can't miss that, can you? That's where the water's at when we first got here. So I'd be about, I don't know, 10, 15 feet underwater right now. Mountain's got a leak. So this is my exploration destination on foot. Ouch, a rock. Alright, as much as I want to keep going, it's starting to get warm. And unless I bring the boat up here and go explore some of those, I really can't do much more. I mean, I can walk around the beach, but anyway, we're going to head back to Mississippi and get started on our chore list. I'm not going to take y'all along for the chores because they're pretty gnarly. I think next week, I don't know, maybe next week, we're going to go on a hike. There's a trail that supposedly goes to some hot springs. I may or may not make it to the hot springs. We'll see. I'm not a big hot spring fan, but we might go hiking. Then the weekend after that, we're going to the Huckleberry Festival in Donnelly. I'll get some video from there too. Pretty excited. In case y'all are wondering about Mississippi, she's been kind of under the weather this week. Not bad. Her allergies have been kicking her butt severely for the last 3 or 4 days, and then the little bit of smoke in the air is not helping. So she's just kind of laying low, and her and Bruno are hanging out at the campsite. They spend time on the beach. But all is well with her. I'm not really sure how far I walked. Somewhere up here I've got a boat. Get up here on the ground where it's a little more solid. Change my battery too when I get to the boat. And get the rocks out of my shoes again. I walk like a duck, so I get a lot of rocks in my shoes. The rock stackers have been here. There's another one right up here. They don't bother me. I don't have the obsession over the rock stacking like some people do. I figure the cavemen probably stacked rocks too, so, and we're still here. The world hasn't ended. All the critters are still alive. So, hey, boat's still here. I don't know exactly what I was expecting to happen, but it's still here. So now we're gonna flip it over, get a drink of water, get our vest back on, and head back to the campground. Should get back around noonish. Alright, made it back, and we gotta get all the way over there somewhere. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, boat's in the water. It's time to get back to Mississippi. Shove off. Hey, here's a look at the water, bottom of the lake. We are clearing the cove. There's our destination over there. Should take about 30-45 minutes. Sorry for the I got mud all over my boat. And somebody driving through the neighborhood. See a car. Maybe the Bureau of Reclamation folks that are supposed to start showing up. There it is. Or it might be Forest Service, who knows? It's all good. Well, the reason it takes so much longer in my boat than a regular kayak is because this thing doesn't track and doesn't skim the water like a regular kayak. It's a raft. It's not a kayak. So it takes a little bit more work to paddle it and a little bit longer to get there, but it's well worth it. Anyway, we are here till September 30th. I didn't come out right. We're here till September 30th and we love it. We're excited about it. And then we're going to go head across to Arkansas, take care of some business, and go see Julia. But while we're here, I'm going to do as much recording. I know they're not exciting. I'm not going to apologize because that's just the way we live. I can't record this like I want to now because I freaking tracked mud in here. A lot of mud. Anyway, let's get on back. We're headed over there. Over there. Usually around noon out here, it starts getting breezy and then it starts getting windy. That's why I like to get out early and get my paddling done. I've tried fishing. I'm not having a lot of luck fishing out here. It's not really discouraging. I'm not a big fisherman, so it is what it is. I prefer hiking and paddling and biking and all that stuff. So if you don't see us catching a lot of fish, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really hurt my feelings. Plus it. Another group of kayakers. We're making pretty good time. Cozy Cove again. Anyway, back to paddling. We are moving, believe it or not. Very slow pace. I mean, when I'm paddling, we're moving fine. But when I stop, this thing plants itself, which I'm okay with. Had some geniuses jumping off the dam the other day. I may throw a clip of that in here if Mrs. C lets me. So we've had some harebrained schemes since we've been here. I'm just gonna let you know. First, we bought those e-bikes. We didn't really buy them for this. We've been wanting them for a while, but we had this grand idea that we were going to use them to do our camp hosting with. Well, that fell through because it's in a day we travel a total of I think about 15 miles from one end to the other. There's 5 miles, but then between the campgrounds and all that stuff. And running up and down these dirt roads with all the side-by-sides and four-wheelers and motorcycles is not something we really wanted to do on a e-bike. So we kind of squashed that idea. Well, the next grand idea, this one y'all are gonna really love. We thought we might just paddle from there over to Cozy Cove and do the camp stuff there. Put all our crap in the boats and paddle across. Well, let me tell you, that didn't work out either. We paddled at one time, and it takes about, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, if you're really getting it. The breeze is picking up. I'm going to go in here in a minute instead of jabbering. So that one's not going to happen. So anyway, we're just leisurely drive. We drive the truck. I mean, it is what it is. They don't provide a vehicle, and we're okay with that. We're happy enough with this area that, you know, now, you know, we are compensated for our truck, driving our truck, so I can't really call that a bad deal. It's just the mileage on it, but it is what it is. You hear the birds? Or the kids, one, I'm not sure which. Anyway, let's get back to paddling, y'all. Getting kind of toasty. Feels good though. It's a pretty good paddle. We're getting close. Anyway, we're about to reach our destination. I hear a generator running up there somewhere. Don't think it's ours. Sorry, I'm waving paddles all over the place. I don't think it's ours. I think it's the Bureau's generator. I'll be firing ours up in a few minutes to get our well going. Get some water. Gotta clean my tank today, maybe. I'll try to put some specs on here for Deadwood Reservoir. Depth and size and all that good stuff. I know there's kokanee in here and bullhead trout, I think, something you're not supposed to keep. And whitefish and a few others. But I'll try to remember to put specs in here for it. And it is a long ass drive out here on a rough ass road. So just keep that in mind. We find a lot of trailer parks when we're driving around. We're almost there though. I made it. We got a hammock up there too, by the way. Our Robinson Crusoe little camping, it's not really camping, hangout place. Anyway, I'm back, and what an excellent paddle. Thank y'all for coming along. I know it's not exciting, but it was a beautiful morning and I needed to get out and do something. And hopefully y'all made it this far. Like I said, I'll get some spec. And maybe we'll see y'all next week for a hike. Either that or I think we're going to do a follow along with a camp host video too. That ought to be pretty comical. You get to see Mrs. C and Bruno in action. And then a hike, and then the Huckleberry Festival, and then I really don't know. We'll just have to figure it out from there. Anyway, let's get back to the campsite. Put this stuff away. See y'all next video. Bye.